Time's up, Dwayne. I'm so sorry.
Pride!
What? Cassius. Hey, Cassius. Hey, come on. Now, hang in there. I got you. Cassius. Cassius. Dad. Please.
As I am now, so soon we'll be. Prepare for death and follow me.
I am a magician.
Yeah, I'm fired up, Dom. What else could I say?
Absolutely. It was great to get on the field, and then Dom came up to me, and I'm trying to walk away from me. I just wanted to enjoy myself out there.
Hot mic.
Great job.
There's got to be some kind of intelligent question about something. Is a
Hot Mic.
Hot mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Dom Izzo.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's going to be a fun show today, guys. A really fun show. I'm so pumped. Dom Izzo out for the week, taking one last vacation before it's go time here in Fargo. So I'm Logan Campbell. I'm filling in for him today. Hope you guys are having a great start to your morning. We have a really packed show. And I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, this is a lot of guests that we have on today. And I'm really excited about all of them. So let's just dive right into who's coming on the show. At 9:30, we have UND football's head coach, Bubba Schweigert, coming on. I haven't talked to him since, I think, the last game of the season between NDSU and UND. So I'm excited to hear what this 2023 football team for UND is going to look like as fall camp starts for them next week. At 10 o'clock, NDSU Cornerbacks Coach Lewis Walker. He's going to come on, share with us a little bit about what the cornerback group is going to look like. We got some new guys up there, some veteran presences in that room. So excited to hear how they've been looking this offseason. At 10:20, we have some breaking news with NDSU men's basketball. I was able to stop up at their practice the other day and talk to Dave Richmond, Bowden Skunberg, Andrew Morgan, ahead of a trip that they're about to go on in August. And then at 10:35, one of the newest commits for NDSU football, McClain Miller, a running back out of Indiana, will join me on the show. And we'll learn a little bit more about his backstory. So super excited for all of these guests today. And in the spur of the moment, I decided I needed to bring our friend Eric Bennell on the show because of some news that happened yesterday. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure you all saw it. And I wanted to get the biggest Green Bay Packers fans' thoughts on this. Yesterday, it was reported that Aaron Rodgers signed a new 2-year, $75 million deal with the New York Jets. That is a $35 million pay cut with his original deal that he signed with the Jets. And he did that because he wanted New York to go after and get all of the offensive weapons needed to make a Super Bowl run. What a guy. What a team player. Aaron Rodgers, a team player. Eric, did you think this would ever happen? How salty are you that he did not want to do this at all in Green Bay?
It's almost like you could have did this in Green Bay and won a couple more Super Bowls. But it doesn't shock me. Whatever. He thinks New York's the better team. They're not. And and this is not being a salty Packer fan. Yes, he's a great quarterback, but he started to go downhill. Prove me wrong, Rodgers. Prove me wrong in the this season and say that the Jets are better. I know the Packers aren't going to be as great as they were, but their offensive line is better. Their running backs are better. Wide receivers are arguably better. The defense is the only one I give the edge to the Jets. But you could have did this in Green Bay. I'd probably had 2 or 3 more Super Bowls easily.
It doesn't make you mad that he's doing this now in New York?
I mean, it does. It infuriates me, but he took the pay cut because Green Bay owes him $40 million. So he's getting all his money anyways. So it doesn't really matter.
He decided he's going to make less than Daniel Jones.
Yeah. To be a team player.
To be a team player in New York.
Could have did this in Green Bay and won a heck of a lot more Super Bowls.
So, do you think they have the potential to go on a Super Bowl run?
No.
No?
No.
How come?
The AFC is too loaded with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. You ain't getting out of. He'll be lucky if he makes the conference championship.
What about playoffs? You think they're going to go on a big playoff run at all? Are they going to even make the playoffs? In your opinion?
I think they'll come close.
Like a wild card spot?
Yeah, I think they'll be fighting for a wild card. They're not going to fight for the division. The Bills are going to win that one going away. Dom can say, oh, the Jets are going to win the division. No, they're not, Dom. Be realistic. Take a look from the 10,000.
Look at the camera when you say that. I know he's watching.
He is watching. I'm sure my phone will blow up after the segment from him. But the Jets are not going to win the AFC East. The Bills are just too good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would agree with you, but we talked.
The Dolphins are better.
Well, I don't know.
What weapons does Aaron Rodgers have in New York?
Okay, well, speaking of weapons, there could be a potential new one coming with our guy Dalvin Cook. It was reported today. He's been a free agent this entire offseason. It was reported today that he's going to take a visit to the Jets. Is that like the offensive weapon needed to go on this run?
No, they need a lot more than that. They need an offensive line, and they got to stay healthy. I mean, they got an aging quarterback. They got just everything. I mean, Dalvin Cook isn't going to make or break that team. They had a chance to get OBJ. They failed. They swung and missed on that. They brought back all Rodgers' old friends with Cobb and Lazard.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they got the team. They were good last year, but they don't got the team to go on a run.
I'm going to be so excited when they do, because I think that they will. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think that. But I think that this is a starting point that they could potentially make it. No, I'm not going to even say that. But I think that they are going to go on a big playoff run. I don't think they're going to make conference championship. But I don't know. Dalvin Cook averaged 107 yards per game in his career. That's a lot.
But look at the line he was rushing behind. That Vikings offensive line was pretty dang good.
Well, okay, so when we look at the Jets,
there's
line.
no offensive line there.
Connor McGovern?
Okay. I get it. Yes, I know I'm ripping the... He's a good, solid player. He's a good center. We've had him on the show.
Yeah.
But, who else is there? Mekhi Becton can't stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got players that just can't stay healthy on the field. That's their problem. I don't even know how many offensive line combinations they tried out last year. And yes, I know the Jets beat Green Bay in Green Bay last year with Rodgers as their quarterback. But Jets fans are going to get so infuriated because Rodgers just locks on a guy, and that's the guy he throws to.
So who do you think is going to be the guy?
Allen Lazard, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Cole's a baseball player.
Okay, so if you were a New York Jets manager, who's another guy that you would go after to make this powerhouse offensive team that they want?
I would have to look to see who's out there. But you got speed with Garrett Wilson. But speed doesn't always translate because, you can play and Justin Jefferson has everything. He's an outlier. He can catch in triple coverage. He's tall. But you got to have that connection, and I think that connection is going to take a year or two to build. And he only signed a 2-year deal.
Mm-hmm. I texted Dom and asked for his thoughts. He's being cautious. He said, we'll have to wait and see. You're rolling your eyes?
Yes, because he thinks the Jets are going to be... Earlier in the year, he did not want Rodgers as quarterback. Now he's all in on it. So it's like, what side are you on? Do you want him as your quarterback? Do you not want him as your quarterback? I just don't think it's going to... I'd be shocked if the Jets go 10-7.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at their schedule. Who do they start this season?
They start the season with the Bills, I believe, on Monday Night Football.
Oof.
That's a tough one right out of the gate.
Yeah, but I think that's like a good measuring stick for people to like realistically see how the season's going to play out for them. I mean, the Bills are incredible.
Yeah.
But I think if they can compete, people will be optimistic.
But it's the first game of the season, so everybody's like
Amped up,
ready to go. It's Monday Night Football in New York. I think is it at?
No. Yeah, it's in New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then you get the Jets and the Cowboys the next week. I think that one I think is like that's the one where we're really going to see, because I think they could be comparable teams with this new Jets squad. Before, I would say no, the Cowboys are going to beat them.
Well, sorry to all Cowboy fans out there, but Aaron Rodgers owns the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just been tearing them up ever since he came into the league. And I think the Jets win that one. I'd say they're probably looking at a 2-1 start, and then they go to Kansas City, and they host Kansas City.
That one will be really tough.
2-2. They'll smoke Denver. Philadelphia will be a game.
You think?
I think so.
No.
Rodgers did play pretty well against the Eagles last year.
Yeah, but that's a completely different team.
They brought back a majority of their pieces, so I'm not really worried about like Philadelphia. Probably would say 3-3 after going into their bye week.
3-3?
Yep.
I think that is a fair assumption. I would say 3-3. But then
At New York, and so at New York, virtual home. It's a home game because they share a stadium with the Giants.
You think the Jets will have more fans than the Giants? No.
I think so.
I
think there's a lot more hype around the Jets this year.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I feel like the Giants fans show out. I don't think I know.
You would know more. You'd be like, you're from around that area.
No, the Giants. That will be a home game for the Giants.
Think so?
Yes. Yeah. I do. I think the Giants will win that one. But then the NFC is terrible this year.
Yep.
They're really bad. Besides
Philly, Dallas, I would say is up there. I know you don't want to agree with it, but Dallas is up there.
I don't.
Minnesota.
I think Minnesota, Philly. Who else? I think Dallas is like above average, but not top 5.
Yeah. I think the NFC South is going to be the worst division in football this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, typically they are.
Well, it used to be the NFC East.
In 2020.
The NFC least. Sorry.
That's a sensitive subject. But Washington
Apparently,
still won.
I know.
Anyways.
And then they host Los Angeles after New York.
No, I think LA will win.
So they don't go on the road for 3 weeks.
What the second half of the schedule? Yep, I think
At Las Vegas, at Buffalo.
the one at Buffalo is going to be tough.
I hope it's a snow game. That'd just be cool.
I mean, in November, chances are, yeah, it will be. Oh, Washington.
So they're probably gonna
Christmas
smoke.
Eve.
They're probably gonna smoke them by 30.
Well, okay, yeah. So they're not playing at FedEx. So, yep, I could not by 30. Are you kidding? No. Well, I don't know. I really don't know what this Washington team's gonna look like this year, especially with Sam Howell.
Yeah, they could be good. They might not be good. Who knows?
We're just gonna have to wait and see. Like Dom said, no games have been played yet. Their roster is not done, completed yet. So
what did we say? 4-4, probably coming into the Vegas game.
I think so.
I think they beat Vegas, so 5-4. They'll lose to Buffalo. I think it's just because it's at Buffalo. Bills Mafia is gonna show out. That game's gonna be like crazy.
I could see them splitting with Miami.
Yeah, I think beat Miami on Black Friday. So they're 5-5.
They'll beat Atlanta. They'll beat Houston.
Yep.
I think they'll.
So 7-5.
I think they'll beat the Patriots twice. Cleveland, I think they will win. Washington probably will win.
So yeah, about 10-7, 11-6.
That's not bad.
No, but I think it's going to be 12 wins to get into the playoffs in the AFC. At minimum. Because you got the Ravens. Or Ravens, Bengals, who will be fighting for that, like,
Top spot, yeah.
AFC North title. You got the Bills, who will probably win the division in the AFC East. The Chiefs will win the West. I know we got a Broncos fan sitting in the back, so I just... Sorry, Michael, but the Broncos are not going to win the West this year.
They're not. Unless, like, Russell Wilson does, like, a complete 360 from last season.
Unless he goes back to Seattle, Russell Wilson.
Right. Which I don't think... Well, I don't know. Who knows what he's been doing this offseason? Who knows?
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. We got an email. Someone said you sound like a salty, pathetic.
Thanks for that email.
But I would be mad if I were you too.
Yeah, because you had so much talent in Green Bay with Devontae. I mean, that offense. Yes, that offense went through Devontae.
Yeah.
But you had so much talent there that they could have easily went on a run.
AFC is gonna be really interesting.
The AFC is always tough. That's why I'm shocked he went to the Jets.
Well, I think he knew that this could potentially be the case for him.
Yeah.
Restructuring your whole team around your quarterback, around him.
Well, why didn't you do that in Green Bay?
Because I don't think they were going to give him that option.
They would have restructured with him, but I don't think he wanted to.
I wish I could be a fly on that wall just to know what those conversations were like.
That would have been fun.
That would have been fun. Anyways, we're going to have to switch gears to my favorite subject, soccer. The Women's World Cup was last night, and I know you watched.
I did.
Watched.
I flipped it on after the Netherlands scored their first goal because I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this.
Yeah.
And then I got hooked on Shark Week on Discovery. So I love Shark Week.
Shark Week, Women's World Cup.
I forgot all about you just get so invested into a show.
Yeah, Shark Week's
And then you
great.
just forget about it.
Shark Week's great, but last night's game was wild. I think I put the highlights in there. So Netherlands went up super early in the game, 16 minutes in, and I was like, oh no, because United States played terribly in the first half.
They did.
Looked so like not cohesive.
Is it Haran or Horan?
Horan.
Okay.
She goes after it with a Netherlands player, and these
They're
two girls
They're
are
club
teammates. Club teammates. They are good friends. But they start going after it. Literally, we're fighting. This is right before a free kick that the United States had. Or a corner. And there's no stopping Lindsay. Look at that beautiful header. This is post-fight goal.
Get the ball to go like that way.
You like flick your neck. Like it's
Does
all
it hurt?
If it hits the wrong spot of your head. So this is the thing. You got to hit it like on the side of your head, not like the side of your forehead, and like flick.
Like it?
Yeah, which is beautiful. Like that is like a picture perfect header goal. They end up tying Netherlands, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but you want to take 1 point is better than no points.
Exactly.
So now
And you can still win the group stage.
they could still win the group stage. They're tied with Netherlands, but with goal differential, they're ahead. So it all depends on how Netherlands does against Vietnam.
And how USA does against Portugal.
Which is
But
going
I
to be
think
tough.
USA has a 2-goal advantage. 3?
3. It's 3.
Yeah, so if USA wins, Portugal wins, USA automatically gets the bye because I think you can only get a 3-goal differential. I think I don't know how it works.
No, you can. It doesn't matter. You can get as many goals, but literally like that, just the way that she played with that anger, I want to see that every game from her. If she plays like that, then they will go all the way. Because right now they're not looking like a team that will win the whole World Cup.
No.
They
don't
need to
look
get it
good.
together. They need to get it together. So hopefully they will. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, lots of breaking news, lots of stuff happening in the college football world. We're gonna dive into some of those moves right after this. You're watching Hot Mic on WDAY Extra and Forum.com and KSFL. Welcome back to Hot Mic. Hope you all are having a great start to your Thursday. Eric Bonnell joins me in studio, a salty Packer fan.
I mean, I'm salty because I'm salty because he could have done this in Green Bay and could have avoided all the drama and probably won another Super Bowl with Green Bay. But
Potentially.
obviously, like, injuries happen, stuff like that. But
Right.
he cost us our last 2 playoff games.
Do you want him to do well or no in New York? Be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he succeeds. I'll always be a Roger fan. He did send me an autographed picture
Oh, that's nice of him.
from when I was going through everything last year. So, I'm never not going to turn on him. But the only quarterback I think I've ever turned on in Packer history is Brett Favre.
Understandable.
But those are the only 2 quarterbacks I've really known,
Understandable.
too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we had some breaking news also last night that I'm sure NDSU fans are all over, and that comes with Colorado, who NDSU is supposed to play next season. So the news is that the Big 12's presidents voted unanimously on a conference call to accept Colorado as a new member on Wednesday night. Now, nothing is official yet. Colorado has to apply, but they're most likely going to go to the Big 12 next season at the end of the Pac-12 TV deal, so they don't have to pay anything to leave.
Nope.
What do we think about this move?
I think it's a smart move for Colorado. They're getting out when they can, and they're getting a share of the new Big 12 ESPN Fox TV deal, which I think is around $32 million, 31.7, something like that.
Yep.
And Colorado, they left the Big 12 to go to the Pac-12 because it made more sense for them travel-wise.
Well, it's not even that. They said that the uncertainty of the Pac-12 and the stability.
In 2011.
Oh, I thought you meant going back
No.
today.
Like, yeah, due to the uncertainty is why they're leaving the Pac-12 now. But, like, back in 2011, they left. It made sense for them just travel-wise. Like, the schools were a lot closer. But now with the Big 12 dissolving, with Texas leaving, Oklahoma leaving, and then adding Houston, BYU, UCF, and Cincinnati, it just makes sense for them. I think the competition level is going to be better for them.
100%. I mean, look at the Pac-12 now.
The Pac-12, there's it's Oregon,
Arizona.
and well, I wouldn't even say Arizona yet.
Well, Arizona apparently is looking to leave because they're panicking. I would be panicking if I was them too.
Arizona and Arizona. Can I just drop a bold prediction? That's probably going to
Go for
happen.
it. Yeah, it's
Arizona and Arizona State are going to go to the Big 12.
You think?
Those 2 are going to go together.
So I was reading up on this last night, and they said that the Big 12 wants to be at 14 members. So after this season, I think they drop down, or not. Yeah, once this season's over, they drop down to 12 or 13. They want to add one more, but there's nothing in the works for them to add someone right now. But they want to have 14 members. So
Interesting, because I've also heard the Big 12 could add Gonzaga.
I did see that, or UConn. I was seeing
UConn just doesn't make sense.
that one doesn't make sense, but they said they want to add like a basketball school.
Then go Gonzaga. UConn,
Yeah.
yes, they've had that. I'll take that back. Don't go Gonzaga. Go UConn, because UConn's more the perennial power every year.
But that one's just such
But
like an
UConn is
outlier
just
when it comes
yeah.
to geography.
If you look at the map, it's Connecticut. It's way up in the east.
Right.
So that one just doesn't make sense. But Gonzaga's way up in the west. So they're 2 outlier schools. So, like, I don't know. I think there's another school leaving in the Big 12. We just haven't talked about it yet.
You think?
I think so.
Which one would you guess into which conference? I don't think there's anyone else leaving.
I think there's going to be a potential.
Who?
Iowa State would make sense.
To go.
Big 10.
Okay.
Just because that's more their region.
Is Big 10 looking to add?
But every conference, they'll say they're not looking to add, but they are. West Virginia could leave. They could get. I could see them going to like the ACC, just because that would more fit their geography. Like, you got Virginia Tech, Clemson, the Carolina schools. Like, you're playing all down the East Coast. You're not traveling Central
I don't
Time.
see them going to that one.
That's just like who I think could leave.
Okay. Well, what do we think about the Pac-12's future? Because that's what's intriguing to me.
San Diego State's coming in. It's just going to happen.
So this is like a huge domino effect. Also, this move for Colorado probably means NDSU is going to be on a primetime game again when they play Colorado.
Yeah, ESPN or Fox is going to get that game.
Yeah.
That's set, like back-to-back FBS big-time games on a big-time network.
That's huge for NDSU.
Yeah.
Then that leaves the question, if all these schools from the Mountain West go to potentially the Pac-12, does that reopen for NDSU to maybe go there?
We need to get McFeely on to start talking about this.
Just when I thought the conference realignment conversation
the
was
conference
over,
realignment,
it's gonna keep coming back up. Yeah,
it's never gonna end.
No, never.
It's just gonna keep happening, and then all of a sudden, all these D2 schools are gonna come up to the FCS, and these FCS schools are gonna go FBS. But I do think it opens the door for NDSU to join the Mountain West. But I don't want it to be for all sports. Just my opinion. I think the Summit League is perfect for every other sport. Football should want to go to the Mountain West.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think now is like with all the realignment, like now's the time to do it. I've said that before. McFeely went on a huge rant about it. Everyone knows how we feel about it.
And they would be successful. Take a look at James Madison last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it's
just my opinion.
The Pac-12 literally is dead.
Yeah.
Dead. They need to make some huge moves, but like what big schools can you bring in? And you have to keep the big schools you already have.
They're probably going to grab San Diego State.
But poor Oregon, we can throw Arizona in the conversation.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They're just going to demolish every school that they're playing.
Yeah, Oregon State, Washington State.
Yeah.
Cal, Stanford. Stanford used to be good, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
They need to find media rights, too. The Pac-12 does. I think that's another huge issue that they're going to have, is who's going to want to pick them up. Like, what national
You're not going to get the amount of money that you think you deserve.
Right, because you don't have these big powerhouse schools anymore.
Yep. Do they grab Gonzaga?
That one would make more sense than the Big 12.
Yeah.
But who wants to go to that conference right now? Unless you are a San Diego State.
Yeah, unless you are a San Diego State, UNLV maybe, just because Vegas is a bigger, it's a big TV market, I believe. Mm-hmm. So let's say they grab Gonzaga, UNLV, San Diego State, maybe Boise State too.
Maybe.
So that's 4 teams. That puts you back up to 13. You're grabbing from the West Coast Conference, but Gonzaga doesn't play football.
Yeah.
You're grabbing from the Mountain West.
I don't think they would go after them. I don't know.
It's so weird.
It's so weird, and
the alignment thing just makes my head spin.
It does, and college football, as we know it, is so different.
Yeah, because
from 2 years ago, everything's just gonna look so different. And who knows if they're positive or negative changes? Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see. Speaking of all this conference alignment and stuff, Northwestern in the Big Ten, we all know NDSU defensive coordinator David Braun is now the interim head coach. We heard from him for the first time yesterday at Big Ten Media Day. Take a listen.
Our staff and all their families. They have responded in this time with exceptional work ethic, resolve, perseverance through an incredibly difficult time. In all my one-on-one meetings, time with our players during workouts, it has been absolutely inspiring. It is an honor to be here representing Northwestern University, our football program, and most importantly, our players back in Evanston preparing to have a successful season this fall. This obviously has been a very difficult time for our team, our staff, our current and former players impacted, our alumni, the university, and the broader Northwestern community. I am grateful to the Northwestern leadership and Dr. Gregg for entrusting me with leading this program moving forward. Our number one priority moving forward will be ensuring that the student-athlete experience for the young men that we coach and mentor is just that, the ultimate student-athlete experience. With the evolving landscape of college football, and there being more emphasis put into talent acquisition, transactional relationships, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to firmly commit to the values of Northwestern University, to firmly commit to what this program has been built off of, and that is the holistic development of the young men that we mentor and coach. I told our players a couple weeks ago, moving forward, it is my ultimate purpose to, number one, make sure that the 4 people back home are taken care of, and beyond that, I'm here to support and serve them moving forward. Through one-on-one meetings with the majority of our team, I have found a team that has come together, that truly loves one another, and has an incredible resolve to attack the 2023 season and write their own story about overcoming adversity. Let me be clear, this football team will be ready to go. I won't speak to current allegations. Fully trust that our university is going through a process and will make decisions based on the facts. What I can speak to is, how proud I am of the way that our team has come together with all this stuff swirling around our football team. And there's absolute resolve and confidence from our leadership within our team of how we're going to move forward. A lot of people have been impacted by decisions made, by things decisions that have been made over the course of the last couple of weeks. And our guys right now in that facility are going through a lot. And we have an opportunity to either run from that or an opportunity to truly stare that adversity in the face, stare it down, and go attack this opportunity to make this fall an incredible story that truly embodies what this team's all about. I've challenged them with that, and I can say that they have responded to that challenge in an absolutely inspiring fashion.
What do you make of that? I mean, David Braun is just put in such not an ideal situation, but the way that he is handling it and just the person that he is, I know that he'll be able to turn this program around and, like he said, take that adversity head on and go on a run in the fall.
Yeah, he's handling this probably the best that he could, and Northwestern was right to make him the head coach. Like, I feel like he's got the most experience on that staff to just, and I'm not sure if he's ever faced adversity like this in his career. I doubt anybody has, but he's handled it so well, and he's just so calm and poised. Yeah. It's like, that's got to reassure the university to say, we made the right call to put this guy in charge of the program for the year. If he goes successful, maybe he gets elevated to that head coaching position. If he doesn't, who knows? But for now, the right guy's in charge. Yep. And I wish him the best going forward.
We all do. Yeah, he's one of the good guys, and I really appreciate the way that he treated all of us here. And I know that he will be successful at Northwestern. And like you said, we wish him all the best. We got to go to break. When we come back, UND football head coach Bubba Schweigert will join me, and we'll get a little sneak peek of this UND football team heading into the 2023 season. Welcome back to Hot Mic Football. Season is right around the corner. Fall camps are picking up next week. So I have UND football's head coach Bubba Schweigert joining me now on the show. Bubba, how are you? Can you hear me, Bubba?
I can.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so you guys have been having summer workouts. How is this 2023 team looking for you, Bubba?
I'm really pleased with our summer workouts. I think, our strength staff, Coach Bachl and his staff have done a great job, and the leadership on the team has really stepped forward this summer. And, we goes by in a hurry. It seems like it was yesterday. We were reporting May 31st to train and took a little break over the 4th, and we're just a few days away from fall camp.
It just goes by so fast. You talk about new leaders coming forward. Tell us, who can we expect to see be the leaders on the field for UND this season?
Well, I think you always look at Tommy Schuster stepping forward and taking more of a leadership role as he grows in the program. Ted Mullen is a guy back that chose to come back for an extra year. Donnie Ventrelli, guys like that. Easton Kilty starting to take a step forward as far as the guys up front, and Bo Belquist, some of those guys, they're veterans now, even though they have some years left to compete. Some of those guys, it isn't always the seniors that step up in those roles. It can be anybody on your team, but really pleased with a number of guys stepping forward and taking, the young guys and teaching them how we go about things here. And that creates a great team bond when you have a good mix between those veterans and first year guys and all the way throughout your program.
Who are some of the younger guys on this team that you're excited to see play this fall?
Well, I think if you look up front, on the offensive line, Cade Borud had a really good spring. Sam Hagan, started some games for us the previous year, and we'll see how his fall camp goes and where he fits into this. Jaden Norby will be a more experienced tight end. Jack Wright stepped forward last year, made some plays for us. On the defensive side, we're looking for Wyatt Pedigo and Malachi McNeil and Kason Kelly really at the inside linebacker positions to take a step forward. It's their time now. And although we have a very experienced corner in CJ Siegel, we have a number of guys, Edmund O'Kanzi and Devin Hembry and Antonio Blewett, that are young guys. They're just really looking forward to seeing what they can do. And Ethan Ball is a young safety that we're looking for some big things out of this fall. So just a lot of guys throughout the program, and even in the specialist area. We had a punter for 4 years, Cade Peterson, and now it's time for those guys to compete and see who's going to be back there when we punt the ball.
I want to talk about Tommy Schuster. We really saw him come into his own last season. He had 2,730 passing yards, 20 touchdowns. What are your expectations for him this season?
Well, a year ago, we really challenged Tommy to use his feet more, like on 1st and 10 plays. And he's always been very good at not taking losses. He'll get rid of the ball, and he does a great job with decision making. And so we challenged him to tuck the ball and get us 3 and 4 and 5 yards to put us in more favorable down and distances. And I thought he really grew in that area and ran the football better. And, this year we're looking for him to continue his command of the offense. And, I think he's worked hard at really being more visible around the team. He's led a lot of the summer workouts and the spring workouts, just getting over to our Pollard Center and throwing one-on-one routes with receivers and running some of those sessions for us. So taking that next step in leadership is really what we look for him. And along with that, to keep pushing himself to compete at the highest level that he's able to compete at.
You guys lost a fantastic running back in Tyler Huseman. Who are you expecting to step up and fill those shoes this season?
Yeah, good luck to Tyler. He's in camp right now, and it was just awesome for us in his 1 year here. And, we know we got some big shoes to fill there. And Isaiah Smith has really, if you look at Isaiah Smith from day one that he reported to UND football, and now we're just very proud of him, how he's changed his body and improved his physical skills, and he's a lot of fun to be around. He practices with a lot of energy and doesn't talk a whole lot, but brings a lot of energy to our team. So he's in the mix there. Gavin Zebarth will get an opportunity. And then Luke Skokna is back healthy.
Oh, good.
We forget that we didn't have Luke, just for a few snaps last season. And he's had a really good summer. And then we, those guys are really competing hard. And we have one transfer that came in, Donovan Hunt. We haven't been able to work with him yet, but that'll start next week. And so we got a lot of competition there, and we think that'll make our team better, but really looking forward to those guys getting an opportunity to provide a real spark for our offense and for our football team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Something I noticed when looking at your roster is a big change. You moved Quincy Vaughn from backup quarterback to tight end. Why did you do that?
Well, we want to get our skilled players on the field as much as we can. And we made the decision that he's athletic and we got to find a place for him. And the good part about it, he was even thinking about this himself. So
really?
He just really, really loves being here and loves being part of the team. And he's such a positive guy in our building and in the community. And he was very positive about this move, and he's worked hard. He's had to change his workout schedule a bit, working out with the tight ends now rather than the quarterbacks, and really looking forward to him to keep learning this position and the techniques. The first time he was in a 3-point stance playing football was when we made the change last spring. So he's come a long ways, and we know he's going to work hard to keep getting better and better at this position.
Do you think that this is more of a natural fit for him?
I think he's got the skills to do it. He's got a lot of leadership capabilities at quarterback that'll transfer to that position group. And so he'll still lead in a lot of ways. Probably won't be running the huddle, but we can use his skills in a lot of different ways now. And we're really looking forward to that.
On the defensive side of the ball, who are you expecting to step up and be the leaders?
Well, I think Jalen Johnson is a guy that was coming off injury a year ago, and he's become more of a vocal leader on our team. Ben McNaboe is another guy that had a really good season for us a year ago. And Josh Navratil and Ted Mullen are the outside guys that would, if we started tomorrow, we'd run them out there first. But Ted has been a good leader throughout our program. And Sammy Fort, who we lost in the Nebraska game last year, was unable to compete the rest of the year, has stepped forward as a leader. And those are the guys that really need to take charge of our defense. And I think they've done a good job at this point. And there'll be others. CJ Siegel is also in that group, a guy that's been around a long time and is willing to speak up around the team and really take young guys under his wing. So I think we have a number of guys that will help lead our football team on the defensive side.
That's things that we love to hear, Bubba. Bo Belquist is a name that we hear about all the time. He's heading into his senior season. What are your expectations for him?
Well, Bo's one of those guys that doesn't talk a lot. So we challenge him to be more vocal. But what a competitor. He really competes. And that's what makes him so valuable to our team. You look at that extra effort to get a first down or to get into the end zone, the extra effort at practice, holds himself to a really, really high standard. And that is great for the other guys on our team to see how he practices and goes about his daily work. And, he just keeps getting better. And it's because he's never satisfied and never complacent. And he'll continue to get better. And we keep looking for more ways to get him in space and get him one-on-one, because he wins a lot of those battles. And really pleased to have him back for this year. And we'll see where it goes from here.
I, for one, am so excited to see what your 2023 football team looks like, Bubba. You guys have a really fun schedule this season. You guys are going on the road to Boise State on September 16th. How pumped are you for that game?
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. They had their media days last week, and They were picked to win their league, so a huge challenge for us. We're looking forward to our season opener. We always got to focus on that. You know, our first two are at home, and we haven't had that for a long time, and 6 home games. So really, really excited about the season. But, you know, Boise will be a challenge for us, and we're looking forward to getting out there on the blue turf on September 16th. It's an early start, 10 o'clock Boise time, 11 o'clock out here on FS1. So when we get to that point, we'll be excited and ready to go, but we sure got to be ready for our season opener and get ready for Drake.
How do you feel about those early games? Do you like them, or would you rather stick to the normal 2 o'clock start time?
You know, for us, we're a morning practice team, so playing early in the day, I don't think really changes a whole lot for us. Our guys are used to getting up early, and we probably have a little bit more of a challenge playing night games. You know, now the last time we played an early season game at night, it was starting at 8 o'clock local time, but then we had the weather delay and we didn't kick off till about 10 o'clock our time. But, you know, Logan, you just got to handle all situations. I think it's so much about your mindset, your preparation, that we just tell guys, hey, whenever we play, wherever we play, we got to be ready. And that's how we approach it. But the early one, it shouldn't affect us. I think if we weren't a morning team, that would be a little bit different. But our guys are up early each and every day, and should be no problem for us.
You talk about how you have your first home opener at home for the first time in years against Drake. Then you have Northern Arizona. NDSU is coming October 14th. We know that you guys play phenomenal at home. Why is that?
Well, hey, we have been a really good home team. You know, have played well against top 25 teams in the country, which includes teams from the Missouri Valley, because we know those teams are always going to be ranked highly. But, you know, we just like to play at home, and I think our fans give us an advantage. Yeah. I think, you know, we're a tough place to play. Talking to visiting coaches, after you see them after the season, they'll, you know, mention that it's a fun place to play because we have a great locker room set up for visitors and easy place to get to. But the environment, when our fans are on their feet, it's a fun environment, and I think it makes it tough on opponents. And just like us going to places on the road in the Missouri Valley, there's some tough environments, and we've been in some of those, and we've got to learn to handle those road games better. We want to be a better road team, but we want to keep this home field advantage alive. And the best way to do it, Logan, is to play well. That's how your fans get into it. When you play well, then it becomes tougher for the opponent.
Absolutely. I remember when we were up there 2 years ago, I could not get over how loud it was in there. It was such a fun environment to cover a game. Bubba, you guys start fall camp next week. What are you hoping to see from your team this season?
Hey, we want to see a real hungry team. We want to be excited. We want to see a real hungry team to get better. I know, you know, we're one of 11 teams that's been in the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. We're one of 3 teams in our league that's done that. And we just really need to be hungry and take this program to another level. We want to be one of these teams that competes for Missouri Valley Conference Championship, which we know is difficult to do with all the really good programs in our league. There just aren't any weeks off. And you do that, if you can win enough games and build a good resume in this league, then you get in the tournament. And that's really the goal. You want to get in the tournament to give yourselves an opportunity to advance and win FCS national championships.
Well, Bubba, good luck this season. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me this morning.
All right. Thanks a lot for your time.
We'll see you on October 14th, Bubba. Thank you.
See you then.
All right, everyone. Bubba Schweigert, the head coach for UND football, sharing all of his insights on what that 2023 football team will look like. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Hot Mic right after this. You're watching on WDAY Extra and Forum.com and KSFL. Coming up after the break, cornerbacks coach for NDSU football, Lewis Walker, will join me in the show and give us a little preview of what that position group will look like heading into 2023. We'll be back right after this.
This is Hot Mic. Hot Mic. On the networks of WDAY. WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everyone. Dom Izzo out for the week. I'm Logan Campbell filling in for him. We're going to kick off the second hour of the show with someone who brings the juice on the field for NDSU football, the cornerbacks coach, Lewis Walker. How are you, Lewis? Sorry, we couldn't hear you. How are you?
Hi, so I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Lewis, I said you're bringing the juice. This is a phrase that we hear all the time from you, but it stands for something. Can you tell us what it stands for?
Jacked up, insanely contagious energy.
Love
You
it.
gotta.
Love it. Are we going to see that amongst the cornerbacks this year for NDSU?
I mean, it's something that we try to pride ourselves in. Obviously, confidence being number one, but along with that, like you have to have something else that comes with you, like that confidence, that swagger, it approaches. But when you're out there having fun, playing free, making plays, that energy is contagious, and it could be in a positive way, it could be in a negative way. But obviously, the positive way is the way we want to enforce it, and when things aren't going our way, we still want to have that same upbeat, that energy that's going to revive us and get something going. And somebody's going to make a play, it's going to spark, and that's where that insanely contagious energy comes from.
Yeah. Well, it all starts with you because I see you running around out there with all the guys just getting them amped up. Lewis, you guys have been having summer practices. Fall camp is right around the corner. Tell us, what have you seen so far from your cornerbacks group heading into this 2023 season?
Yeah, spring was good. We have uh, some new guys in the room that are going to bring a certain talent level that hopefully we can continue to develop and get those guys in to help us. We have guys that have grown in leadership roles, which has been awesome, been amazing. I think that's something that we preach here is like, we like intrinsically motivated people. We like guys that are going to come out and get it done. We don't have to push you to go out and do your job. But throughout spring, it was good. Going into these summer workouts, I think the energy, the speed, the body development of these guys, then incorporating the freshmen into that process as well has been really, really well. So looking forward to going into fall camp coming up.
You guys have a bit of a younger group this year, which is something that's a little bit new for NDSU. Who are some of these younger guys you're expecting to step up this season?
Yeah, I think all of them will get a chance as we run through a fall camp. But I mean, talk about the freshmen that just got here in the summer. I mean, you got Najee Nelson, who's a really good player, really good feet. I think all these guys move well. The freshmen coming in, you got Jalen Duffy, who's another long kid that can run, really good ball skills. You got TJ Turner, who's going to come in and be able to help out in some ways, whether you're putting them in the slot or outside. We got Chase Nixon, who's a new guy. He's not really a young guy, but he has some experience coming from a junior college, and hopefully he's going to come in and be able to develop and incorporate himself into this culture of NDSU football and be able to get us going. And then obviously the young guys like Jay Keese Alexander, Keegan Huber, those guys are going to have to step up now, having a year under their belt and knowing what this place is about and how it operates.
What about Reggie King? He's a name that we've heard about for years. What are your expectations for him?
Yeah, Reggie, like you said, everybody saw him as a rangy free safety back there the last couple of years, and being able to be back there and roam around and go be a ball hawk. And you put him outside on the edge where he has to now be pressed man to man with elite talent out there on the edge, and you're by yourself. And the movement skills are a little bit different, but developing over spring, he's shown some flashes, and it's just continuing to get him to have the confidence in his abilities at a different position with different movements, because a long guy like him, a guy that can run, bring a physical aspect like that, those are rare breeds out there.
Jaden Price is returning for a fifth year. How big is that for this group of guys?
Huge. I think not only our room, our entire secondary, as you look at it, then you can filter that into our defense and into our team. But he's stick to it just with the cornerback room. I think it is such a valuable thing that we don't overlook it, but a lot of other people might. I mean, you talk about a guy that's been experienced on the football field. He's been a starter. He's won national championships, conference championships. He's been all conference player. He's been all Americans. Then you take him off the field. He's an honor roll student in the classroom. He's getting his MBA. And then I challenged him last year when we were going through some things. And then obviously filtering into this year, going into winter and spring, was it a bigger leadership role? And I think he's done that. And he's been a guy that I leaned on from the first day that I stepped in to Fargo. And so I think it's very invaluable in the aspects of things that he brings that's not even a football quality.
How have you seen him step up into this leadership role?
For him, he's always been a hard worker. He's always been a detailed guy. He's always been accountable. And where I pushed him in terms of challenging him in more leadership role is being a guy that's going to speak up when things aren't going right, when things are going right in an encouraging way, being able to pull the young guys along with him. I can't tell you how many meetings outside that we have with me in it that he's having just by himself and pulling those guys in. So when you have guys that are going to take the time out of their individual study time to say, you know what, I'm going to incorporate these other guys in this room because we need to all be on the same page. We got a lot to prove. Like, though, that's the quality that you have when you say that you have a team of player-led program. The coaches aren't always having to push it on you and making you show up. Those are the qualities that JP has been doing here. Obviously, his work ethic, everything there, it shows out on the field, but the vocal aspect of it.
What's the biggest thing that you've been working on with your cornerbacks during this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, tackling is definitely going to be one. That showed through our defense. A lot of people, that's something you can't hide. Obviously, from a technical standpoint, our footwork, our change direction skills, and trying to get some more hip mobility in terms of being more fluid in your movements there. And then there's something that you're never going to not work on is ball skills. Like those are things we don't have enough opportunities. And when they throw us the ball, we gotta make it count. We had some missed opportunities last year that I could count right now and say we should have had 3 or 4 more pick sixes last year. That whether it was the quarterback room or our defense in general that we missed out on. So ball skills are something you never kind of shy away from. But tackling's been the biggest focal point.
You mentioned tackling. I know that was a big talking point last season, and I know you don't do too much of it during the spring and in the summer. But what have you seen so far? Do you see improvements in that department?
I think Coach Petrino's brought in some new drills, whether you want to say new coaching points, but us as a defensive staff, obviously we talked at length with Coach Ince after the season. It was something that we really dove into, what caused them. And I think those are things that Coach Petrino walking in the door with fresh ideas and new thoughts and a new perspective on it kind of clashed with what our current defensive staff that was already in the building was already working on. And so I think those are things that we've seen. Like you said, we don't do a lot during the spring. I think we've done more. But I think that the guys are understanding it's not just a heat-seeking missile. You got to be under control when you get into those things. Not that we didn't coach those before, but I think sometimes you just assume you're teaching the basis of it, that they're going to assume that they know that, okay, you got to be under control in these movements. But I think just putting more detail into it, I think you'll see an improvement for that.
You mentioned Jason Petrino, who is a new defensive coordinator for NDSU. How has it been working with him this offseason?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, obviously, Coach Braun was a great mind, and I'm fortunate enough to now be able to learn from another great mind while Coach Ince is still in the building, along with Gio and Grant, and then Coach Phelps. I mean, you can count Tucker Meyer into we have some really, really great minds. But Coach Petrino, I think he's being a secondary guy, but him also having an offensive coordinator, head coaching background as well. He's teaching me things from a different perspective as well. And I think that's always a great thing to have when you can look at something from a different way.
You're entering your second season with NDSU, right?
Yeah, second one.
So what are you hoping to accomplish this season, Lewis?
Well, my feet are on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable now. You know, it was a wild ride going through. Like I said, I had some great company to help bring me along and teach me things I'm looking to accomplish this year. I mean, just going step by step. I mean, this is a brand new team. For whatever anybody wants to say, it's a brand new team. We're gonna buy in and we're gonna believe in what we think inside these walls here. We're gonna take it day by day, and that's gonna start with the first day of fall camp, and hopefully continue to build onto that. But I mean, our goals here, we never shy away from. Our number one thing is to win the conference championship here, win the Missouri Valley. That gives you an opportunity to go to your second goal, which is winning a national championship. Me personally, obviously, getting this cornerback room ready to go, developing these young guys in, and the guys that don't have experience, making them feel as close to ready as they can, if they had the experience, So there is no slow start. So we don't want to be the focal point of, oh, whoa, well, those cornerbacks, they should. No, we want to answer the bell to all those questions that anyone has.
Okay, well, the first question that comes to mind for me is we know we're going to see JP on the field, but who's battling for that spot opposite of him during fall camp?
We got 10 other guys in the room besides JP. I know it's not probably not the answer you want to hear, but I can't sit here and tell you, though, they all are going to get an opportunity. And you went through spring ball, you got to see some stuff. You're going to go through fall camp with these young guys, that incoming freshmen coming, and then those guys refreshing on everything from the spring to fall camp. But I think you're going to, whatever products on the field, you're going to get guys that are going to play tough. They're going to play hard. They're going to play fast. They're going to play together. That's our code green standard. And whoever's out there, it's the next man up mentality. Whoever it is, you got to answer the call.
Next man mentality. Love it. Lewis, I'm excited to see what the cornerbacks look like this fall. Thank you so much for spending the time with me this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Logan.
All right, we'll see you next week, Lewis. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, so JP, clear starter for NDSU. He said all the other 10 guys are battling for that next starting spot. Opposite of him, fall camp, maybe we'll see some answers. Hopefully we'll see some answers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have some breaking news with NDSU men's basketball. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. You're watching Hot Mic on WDOI Extra and Forum.com and KSFL. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you all are having a great start to your Thursday morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Hot Mic. Well, every 4 years, the NCAA allows their basketball teams to go on trips overseas, and NDSU men's basketball is hopping on it. We saw the women's team do it last year. They went to Greece. This isn't the first time the men's team has done it under Dave Richmond. They went to the Bahamas one year, Winnipeg, I think Puerto Rico. So this is now, I think, Dave's third or fourth time, and they're going to Costa Rica starting on August 5th all the way through August 12th. I was able to stop up at practice the other day to talk with Dave Richmond, Bowden Scumberg, and Andrew Morgan about what this trip entails. Take a listen.
Means I've been here forever, huh? Yeah, we went to Puerto Rico 4 years ago. We've been to the Bahamas on the trip. I actually remember with Saul and Miles, I believe, we took a group up to Canada. So great opportunities, a lot of opportunities from different ways. From a coach's perspective, we love these practices, opportunities to grow as a group, get better as a group. But then just appreciative of the support that we have at NDSU too. Obviously, there's a financial commitment to take our group over to Costa Rica here in a couple weeks, and so appreciative of that support from our administration, Bison Nation, and all those people. But we're going to go play a couple games. You never know what that competition is going to look like, it's going to be like. But most importantly, we're going to be together as a family and experiencing something different and unique.
Why Costa Rica?
A lot of different reasons. I think it's a cool tropical area. I think it's something unique. But also, I want to be mindful of our guys' time. Sometimes when you're going completely to Europe or something like that, it's a 10-day trip, and it's important for our guys to enjoy the summer, get better this summer. It's also important for us to get away from each other. So after we come back from Costa Rica, because it's only Costa Rica, we'll have an opportunity to get away from each other for a week before school starts.
So when do you guys leave and when do you come back?
We're going to leave the 5th of August, and we come back the 12th of August, so it's 7-8 days.
When you're deciding where you're going to go, do you just decide, you talk with the coaches, with the guys, how do you determine?
Yeah, it's more of a staff concept, and there's opportunities, there's price points, there's logistical things, there's time that we need to make fit. So there's a bunch of different things that go into the finally getting to where we're going and how we're going and those things.
Routes were you considering?
Couldn't even tell you, to be honest with you. Yeah, we, like I said, wasn't real thrilled at this point of just completely going over the pond to Europe or something like that. Maybe at some point. So we were looking in some area. We've been to Puerto Rico, been to the Bahamas. Costa Rica was an opportunity, and so it'll be exciting.
So when you told the team, what was their reaction?
Yeah, it's cool. Getting texts from parents. Getting passports. First time some of our guys have been out of the country, so. Basketball in general, Division I basketball provides you with a lot of unique opportunities, and this is certainly one of them.
Why do you think it's important to get this experience playing basketball overseas?
Well, I just think you're playing basketball. You're gaining experience. In a lot of ways, this is still a really young group. We got a lot of freshmen, sophomores contributing in different ways. Jeremiah Burke, as a junior college guy, we're thrusting him in. Noah Feddersen. Redshirted last year. So those experiences here in practice are going to be beneficial. Like I said, I don't know what we're going to get out of the games or from the games, but it's certainly the lights are going to come on, and people have an opportunity to rise up and challenge themselves in different ways.
So what is the schedule like once you get down there?
Yeah, so we're going to travel. We're going to be able to play both of our games fairly early in the trip. And then, just kind of I don't want to say at the mercy, but the tour guides, the people that set up these trips, organize them for us. This isn't their first rodeo, so we're going to be on some excursions, some beach time, some crusades, some really cool, unique opportunities.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys. What are you looking forward to the most out of this whole experience? Because you've done it before.
Yeah, there's times as a coach where you're really hard on them in practice. You challenge them, you ask them continuously to be better, and it's hard. It's hard for me to do those things consistently because I love these guys. But when you step away and then you see them enjoy the time together, the time away from basketball, that's what's made us successful, Logan. Everybody at this level is talented. We're gaining experience, which is an important factor, but our ability to be tougher and more together than our opponents has really set us apart, and so these are opportunities for us to grow that bond in our Bison family.
I know you guys have only had a few months of practices, but tell us a little bit about this first glimpse of this team that we're going to see this season.
Well, it's different, right? It's different than last year when it was so brand new. you're able to pick up some pieces a little bit quicker. We're blending in a new staff member. Coach Schweigert has done a tremendous job of implementing some things. I think that's been good for our transition. So, and then there's guys like Noah Feddersen and Jeremiah and Derek Dissett that we're excited because I do believe at some point they're going to be called upon in a rotation. And so to start to see what they're all about, for them to start to figure out what we're all about, this is a great opportunity for those things to happen.
For the freshmen, how's your transition been into college ball?
I think it's been really smooth. I mean, you can ask them. There's certainly challenging times. It's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. But the credit goes to our upperclassmen, the guys that have been here, that have done it before, that you will survive. You know, you're going to be okay. We've got you. This is an us thing, not just a you thing that's going through this. And that's what I'm very appreciative of our culture that we have is guys that understand the way, the process, and are able to go about that together.
Before you guys go on the trip, is there something you're telling your guys do's and don'ts of when you're down in Costa Rica?
Oh, I mean, we're trying to figure out cell phone plans. We're actually, Coach Greer organized some groups, 2 or 3 guys in a group, and they're researching some topics. I have no idea what those topics are, but we'll have some educational opportunities before we go down to Costa Rica. And just a really, really cool experience.
Away from basketball, what's one thing you're hoping to get to do down there?
Well, my wife's going, so that'll be good. I'm excited to obviously see the guys play, but just get away and experience and entrench ourselves in the food, the culture, the language a little bit in Costa Rica.
You guys are going on a trip to Costa Rica. When you found out you guys were going, what was your reaction?
My first reaction was, where's Costa Rica? I didn't know where it was. I thought it was overseas, but when I found out it was down south and it was in really nice climate and really nice area, so I'm excited.
Have you been out of the country?
No, I've never. I think the farthest I've ever went is Florida.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you excited, nervous? How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I get to see something completely different, something I've never thought I'd see before. I mean, never thought I'd even leave my farm, so it's fine there. But yeah, I'm excited. I get to see a different country, how they work. Everybody who's went there has told me it's a great place, so.
So Bowden told me he's never been out of the country. You guys been like talking about like what it's gonna be like, getting to experience that together?
Yeah, we have, but we just have no idea. We're just excited to go and excited to go see something else.
So this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity for you guys. Why do you think it's important for you guys to get this experience internationally?
I think it's really important because, especially to see that there's also stuff out there overseas for after careers in basketball. Like as you've seen Rocky and Sam and all guys that have played here before are gone a professional over there, and they also had a foreign trip to see what it was like over there. So I think it's a really good like teaser to see what goes on over there and how they do things over there basketball wise as well. So
what do you think the competition's going to be like?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably just the team bonding moments. We got a lot of fun activities lined up, and just being with our team for a week and just together and by ourselves and doing things we want to do. That's going to be the best part.
What are some of the activities you guys have?
I think we got ATV riding, and we got some like rainforest tours, and even the beach days too. Those are going to be fun. So everything we're really excited about. The games too, but the other stuff as well.
That comes second.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this team, because there's so many new faces this year, and now you're one of the oldest, a little bit of a younger team.
Yeah, I think our team is great. I mean, we bonded right away as soon as the new guys came in. We took them right under our wings, and then because we had to practice with it last year, we had a lot of new guys as well. So everybody kind of knew the feeling of being the new guys, so we took in them really well. And everybody just turned to a family real quick. It didn't take long for everybody to get comfortable with each other, and we're a really fun team. I love hanging out with this team. Everybody's fun to be around, so it's just awesome.
Dave was telling me that you guys are like assigned research teams or something like that. Can you tell me a little bit more
like
about that? For the trip, yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think each guy got a little bit of a topic we have to research before we get on there, so we can learn a little bit about Costa Rica. And it'd be like food, culture, the history of Costa Rica, stuff like that. So we kind of have a background when we're going down there, so we're not just going down there blank, have no idea where we are. But I think it's mostly just to learn about the type of food they make, the people they are, the languages, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we got to research before we go down there.
What was your assignment?
People. People.
Have you started?
No.
You have time.
No.
You're going to Costa Rica soon. When Dave told you guys were going to go there, what was your reaction?
We were excited. We have international trips every 4 years, and I've been waiting a long time, so it's gonna be nice to get some sun, just chill with the guys.
So you haven't been on a trip, right?
No, I haven't. This is all of our first time.
Have you been out of the country?
This is my first time. I just got my passport. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you excited and nervous?
I'm kind of nervous. I don't like flights.
You don't?
No.
Okay, so has people been talking you through the flights and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a longer flight. I'm cool with an hour or two, but it's 4.
Why do you think it's important for you guys to go to Costa Rica and get this international experience?
Oh yeah, I think just team bonding for sure. That's a big part of it. A lot of new guys who are still bonding together. Just different competition. We're playing a lot. We're playing to see each other this whole summer, so it's cool to get some different looks.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably the beach, just the sun. The competition will be fun. But just chilling with the guys for sure.
Tell us a little bit about this team. I was talking with Rocky, I think yesterday, and he said he was back there and he was the only 2 guys that are still there that he was with are you, Andrew, and Josh. So it's a younger team. Mm-hmm. What have you seen during your summer practices with them?
It's a lot of growth. From the first practices, the younger guys, they were, they didn't know what was up. They were kind of shy, but now they're all kind of getting out of their shell, getting a lot of confidence. So.
You knew Derek kind of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it been like getting to play with him?
It's been weird because my senior in high school, he was a freshman. He was a little kid, couldn't even drive, and we beat up on him. But now it's cool. It's cool to see him older and stuff. He's really confident. He's a good player.
And now you're the oldest on the team? Has that hit you yet?
Oh yeah, it hit me a while ago. I'm looking around just seeing all the different faces, but it's a cool experience.
Costa Rica, how fun is that? I wish that there was a way that we could somehow go on these trips. Costa Rica is a place I've always wanted to go to. So I'm so incredibly jealous that they get to spend a week down there. They're all pumped. Hopefully Andrew Morgan started studying up on the people of Costa Rica. That was his research topic because he has literally a week to start teaching the team about that. But I think that's so fun. The women's team, when they went to Greece, they did that. They all had to research a topic and teach the team about it. And Andrew told us that they're going ATVing. That's so fun. So fun. They get to knock out the basketball early and just enjoy a vacation. And I love what Dave says about how they spend so much time together, but it's also important that they spend time away from each other. And I think that that's something that some teams don't really realize, is that as much as you want to bond and be together, you need that separation. So that's awesome that he notices that. We are still waiting for their basketball schedule to be released. We thought it was going to come out this week, but it still hasn't come out yet. So I'm interested to see what the basketball season is going to look like for 2023, because with Western Illinois leaving, that's one less team in the Summit. So what's it going to look like? Are we going to see those regular Thursday, Saturday games? Are we going to see back-to-back games? Are we going to see double headers? Who knows? Who knows? So hopefully the schedule can be released soon so we can see what NDSU men's and women's basketball will look like for this season. But so fun that they get to go on this trip. We'll hear more about this story tonight on WDAY Sports at 6. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll meet one of the newest commits for NDSU football. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Hot Mic on WDAY Extra and Forum.com and KSFL. NDSU football class of 2024 is growing by the minute. So far, they have 19 verbal commits, which is crazy. They got 2 this week. Earlier this week, a running back out of Indiana, McClain Miller, announced on Twitter that he was going to be coming to NDSU. I was able to catch up with him earlier this week. Take a listen. It's been a few days since you committed. Has it officially hit you yet that you're going to be a Bison soon?
Yeah, it's really settled in now that I've been able to be home with my family and things like that, talk with my friends and the rest of the guys on my high school team. It's an awesome experience, and I'm really glad I made the commitment.
When you went to Twitter and put out the announcement, what was the reaction from your coaches, your teammates, and your family members like?
I mean, it was immediate support from everyone in our community. Obviously, I'm pretty far from North Dakota, but everyone knows the NDSU name, and everyone was very supportive and happy for me that I got the opportunity to play there, and then ended up deciding to. So.
Yeah, so you're from Indiana. When did you first hear about NDSU?
I mean, just on TV, you see him playing in the championship. It seems like every year, and I've noticed that me being a bigger back, I see them being a bigger back. So I decided to reach out to them about a camp invite instead of my film. Yeah, and it all worked out.
Okay, so you reached out to them.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you do that with any other schools or just NDSU?
I reached out to a few other schools. NDSU was definitely the farthest from home, but I um, definitely felt connection there, like it is home. Um, yeah, I sent them my film. They responded back with an invite, said they'd love to see me at camp. And when I got there, um, you know, invited me in with open arms. Really a great experience there. And then at the end of the camp, they ended up offering me, so it was really cool.
Wow, that's really exciting. So when did you come to Fargo?
It would have been one of their last camps at the end of June. It was my last camp of the summer. Really glad that I was able to finish on such a high note. So that was very cool.
What were your first impressions of NDSU when you got here?
Immediately you see the relationships between the players and coaches and the rest of the staff. Like it really, even though it is far away, I feel, that I've been able to build relationships with the coaches and the players that I've gotten to meet in just a short time there. I feel like it really is a family. The community is really tight knit. We were able to stay in downtown Fargo our whole time, and you just see the support everywhere that support for the Bison.
You talk about being so far away from home. What's different about Fargo compared to where you grew up?
It's still like small town feel, but Fargo, I would say definitely there's so much more to do. There's like a wide variety of people, and at the same time, they all come together and they're excited about the same thing, which would be Bison football, which is really cool to see. And so, our community is really excited about our football team, and so it's cool to come to a place that's just as excited about their team.
Yeah, the community here is so awesome. You're going to absolutely love it. When you were initially reaching out to NDSU, which coaches or coaching staff did you reach out to?
Yeah, for sure. I talked to Coach Bashana and Coach Roll first of all. Ian Dino does a great job with the recruiting, but yeah, Coach Bashana, is running back coach, and Coach Roll with the offense coordinator. I mean, they're a huge part of this recruiting process, letting me know, how I'm going to fit into the team and the kind of things that I'm going to be doing. It's been awesome to see.
What did they tell you? How do they see you fitting in?
So, being a bigger back, I have the ability to run the ball, but then also go block for our other running backs, even the QB. So I'm excited to, play a role that maybe has multiple dimensions to it, and I'm happy to do all of it. So yeah.
You said that NDSU was your last camp of the summer. Where else were you looking at potentially going to school at?
Right. So around home, there's a lot of the MAC conference. It's a big deal to get an offer from them. They're D1 FBS, but um, you know I'm glad that I got my offer from NDSU and couldn't be happier about that. I'm not worried about any other schools right now. So yeah.
What do you think was the point where you knew that you wanted to commit to NDSU? Was it while you're at camp? Was it before?
Yeah, so camp, the way NDSU does their camps, they're going to make it tough on you. so that they make sure that you're in for it. You're 100% in. And as soon as we finished that last day of practice, and I got to interact with the coaches, on a more personal level instead of just, as a player, I had that kind of the back of my mind, like, I think this could be the place for me. So went on the visit this weekend, was able to get my dad and little brother up to see the rest of the campus and meet all the coaches. And yeah, it was a great experience.
What did they think about the campus?
They loved it. The facilities at NDSU are up there with top schools in the country. FBS, FCS, it doesn't matter. They're top tier. So I mean, they have everything that you need. There's no shortage of anything in the program. So yeah, they love it.
You talk about the facilities. That new indoor practice facility is phenomenal. What were your thoughts when practicing inside of there, and how did that facility compare to other ones that you had these camps at?
Yeah, first day of camp, you walk in there and you can see the building from the outside. And I mean, it's a huge building. So obviously, you're excited to walk in, but then you get in there and just the atmosphere, the field, the amount of fields they have, indoor facilities, especially, just the ability to get, split up position groups, players anywhere they need to, NDSU double reps. So kids are able to get as many reps as possible at all times. You have the right number of fields to do that. And I mean, all the coaches they're super helpful and, getting practices and things like that.
Other than the facilities, what do you think is the biggest thing that set NDSU apart from these other schools?
Being so far from home is really looking for a school that's gonna make me feel like home. And I really feel like NDSU does that. Again, the coaches and players and the rest of the staff, they really make you feel wanted there. And I think that's good. I'm not worried at all about the distance, because I know I'll be surrounded by a good group of people.
Definitely. Yeah, you will be. You'll fit in like right away as soon as you get here.
Yeah.
McClain, tell us a little bit about your play style. You had over 900 rushing yards your junior season. That's really impressive. So just tell us a little bit about your style of play.
Yeah, so traditionally we run the football a lot. Last year we had 4 senior receivers, so we kind of switched the offense up and did a little bit more single back and then threw the ball a lot more. So, honestly, I like running downhill, big physical back, but at the same time, I think a surprise to my game is, my footwork, my cutting, kind of smoothness that you wouldn't expect to see. And then another part, being a part of a spread offense and things like that, I've had to grow up learning how to, catch the ball and things like that. So I think my hands are also a good part of the game, screens, short routes, things like that. I think that's been really beneficial for me, especially during these camps and things like that.
Mm-hmm. NDSU is huge on developing players. Where do the coaches say they want to see you develop?
So we talked, obviously as soon as you get into college, everyone's going to start getting stronger, bigger with you have the nutrition plans. Everyone's going to be lifting weights all the time. So I'm really excited to, bigger, stronger, faster, working on defensive recognition, things like that, just to get ready for the college game, because it's a completely different level than I've ever played on. And that's the same for everyone. But, NDSU does a great job of getting kids ready for that, no matter where they come from. So I'm really excited for that.
100%. McClain, you still have another year of high school left. What's next for you?
Getting ready to go into the senior season. Hopefully, big things are happening. We made it to state 2 years ago, made it to regionals last year, hoping for another state run this year. Control what you can control. I'm always going to give my all for my teammates, and, hopefully we make another run.
979 yards, 11 touchdowns on 171 carries. Really, really impressive for a junior running back. That was McClain Miller, everyone. Super excited to see everything that he's going to accomplish here at NDSU. I know he fits into their scheme so well. So congratulations to him. We can't wait to have him up here. All right, we're going to take our last break of the show. When we come back, we'll get a wrap on everything and send you all on your way. You've been watching Hot Mic on WDAY Extra, KSFL, and Inforum.com. All right. It's a busy sports day today here. Guys, the 3M Open is right down the road in Blaine, Minnesota. That is underway. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit, give you some updates on our guy, Tom Hoagie. You can watch that right now on ESPN Plus. You guys, after I tell you what he's doing, you're going to want to watch that. That's at ESPN Plus now. Angels and Tigers play today at 12 on MLB TV. Trade deadline. It's August 1st, just a few days out. Angels made some moves yesterday. Twins hopefully will make some moves because they need some help. They lost again last night. The Twins traded Jorge Lopez yesterday. Maybe more moves will be made. We'll just have to wait and see. Trade deadline is August 1st. And then Women's World Cup is continuing to roll on. Argentina, South Africa play today at 7 on FS1. Both of those teams are in last in their group. So a win for either will be huge. Absolutely huge, because that group is tough. They're with Sweden, Italy, then South Africa, Argentina. But only Sweden and Italy have a win. So if they get a win, either team, South Africa or Argentina, they're back in the conversation. Top 2 teams from each group move on to the elimination stages. So that's going to be an interesting game. You're not going to want to miss it. Okay, speaking of the 3M, Tom Hoagie competing in it. He is absolutely crushing it right now. Let's pull up the leaderboard. He is tied for second right now at 5 under. He just birdied at 4. Apparently was really close to acing it, getting a hole in one. Birdie will take the birdie. He's doing really well right now. I know it's early. But still, you're going to want to head on over to ESPN Plus and watch him. Hopefully he does well. Can we call this like his hometown tournament? We're going to call it his hometown tournament. It's right down 94 in Blaine, Minnesota. I think I know a few people going to that. I was an avid golf hater like as of a few months ago, but now I love it. I just really need to learn and get better at it. And once I become better at it, I think I'm going to start playing regularly. I know golf season is pretty much close to being over. But next summer, we're doing a full dive into golf. It was so fun. Also, I don't know if Chris Howell is watching it from the Moorhead Country Club. Thank you for the card. It was an awesome card. I really appreciate it. It was so fun getting to do the Red River Am and get to hang out with you guys all weekend. It was so fun. A beautiful course. If you guys haven't played there, definitely recommend playing there. Yesterday, I saw that Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, shot his shot at Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift. Wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie. I like her music a lot, though. She was my first concert I went to. And it's the Eras Tour. So when you go to these concerts, people make like these friendship bracelets, and they have like bracelets literally all up their arm. So obviously Travis Kelce had VIP seats, was close enough to like basically touch Taylor Swift. And he made a friendship bracelet with his number on it and was trying to give it to her. It never made its way to her, but that is so clever. So clever. Good for him for trying to shoot his shot at probably the biggest celebrity in the world right now. I mean, he has a podcast. He laughed about it on it. Maybe she'll see it and say, hey, I didn't get your bracelet, but message me anyway. I think she's single now. I can't keep track of her dating life. I feel like she always has a boyfriend, which is no problem. But she always has these high-profile boyfriends. I'm like, how? Well, I guess she is Taylor Swift. But if you were going to shoot your shot at Taylor Swift or any celebrity, how would you do it? I think that's a really clever way. The DMs are so outdated. Don't slide in. Be creative if you're going to slide into a celebrity's, or not slide into a celebrity, but if you're going to shoot your shot at a celebrity. If I was going to do that with a celebrity, I don't even know what I would do. I don't think I would. I'm not the type of person that would make the first move. I'm not. That should not surprise anyone. I don't like going out of my way to embarrass myself. Because 99% of the time, I feel like it wouldn't work. That's just not how I am. I just kind of go with the flow. But yeah, I want to hear how you guys would shoot your shot at celebrity. Email me, tweet at me. We have a fun show tomorrow. Let me know what you guys want to hear from me. Love to hear any ideas from you guys and get you guys involved in the show. Thank you to all of our guests for coming on today. This one flew by. And I hope you guys are all having a great start to your Thursday. We'll be back here tomorrow with Hot Mike at 9 a.m. You've been watching on WDAY Extra and Forum.com and KSFL.
Good morning.
Oh, the man gets up early.
Price just caught up with Kelton in the polls, so I got a lot of